To keep yourself updated, subscribe to Indigo Learn and click the bell icon and download our app OneFin to start learning on the go.
Hello everyone. So here we are today discussing about the most interesting news that we have come across today, and that is about the auditors of BYJU's resigning. Yes, you have heard it right. That is, Deloitte Haskins & Sells, the auditors of BYJU's have filed their resignation on 22nd June 2023 with an immediate effect. So now they are no longer the auditors of BYJU's. Now we all know BYJU's has been one of those startups which have been so famous all across the world, that is globally recognized startup. So this news is a little difficult to digest, but here let us have a discussion regarding what exactly led to this kind of resignation or this kind of decision for Deloitte Haskins & Sells. Now, when we all study about audit, we always say that this is a very theoretical subject, but now I always keep telling you that yes, this has a practical application. In fact, this subject is more practical oriented. These kind of cases like BYJU's that we are hearing today are some very rare cases that we come across. And because of that, I take an opportunity today to just connect this case which has happened now with that of the subject that we study and understand how there is going to be a practical application of the standards that we study, the subject that we study as a whole with the real life scenario. Here we see that Deloitte Haskins & Sells have resigned as the auditors. That means they were supposed to do the audit for the financial year ending 31st March 2022. But then, because of some reasons which they have given in the resignation statement, they are clearly denied or they have resigned from the position with an immediate effect. So now they will not be continuing to be the auditors of BYJU's. When they resign, we all know that we study as a part of section 140 subsection 2 of the Companies Act 2013 that the auditors are required to file a statement of resignation. Now, in this statement of resignation, the auditors are required to give reason for why are they resigning. So, in this, very clearly Deloitte has spoken about two important things. First, they have told that those financial statements which were due to be laid, in the AGM which was supposed to be conducted on 30th September 2022. For these, that is the financial statement year ending 31st March 2022. Financial statements have still not been submitted. That means BYJU's has still not filed the financial statements for the year ending 31st March 2022. There has been a long delay. So how is it going to be possible for the auditors to actually plan the audit, design the procedures, perform the procedures, obtain the evidences, draw the conclusion, give the opinion? All of this, how is it going to be possible? Because there has been a long delay in filing of financial statements of 31st March 2022, of which the AGM was supposed to be held as on 30th September 2022, it is not possible for them to do anything now, because of which they call it to be having a significant impact on their audit process. That means they will not be able to do the audit as required by the standards on auditing. So first reason that they have cited is there has been a significant delay in submitting the financial statements by whom? The BYJU's company, and because of which they cannot do the audit as required by the standards. So that is the first reason stated by them, because of which they are going for resignation. Alright, then. Second important thing is regarding those matters which are still remaining unresolved, talking about the year ending 31st March 2021. So the audit report of 31st March 2021 had some modifications reported by the auditor, and about these modifications there has been absolute no communication between the auditors and the company. So there are uncommunicated, or there has been absolute no communication about these matters referred to as the modification. So they have been unresolved. There has been absolute no communication regarding it. So as on 31st March 2021, the audit report submitted, the modifications of that have still been unresolved. Second, for the year ending 31st March 2022, the financial statements have still not been ready. The underlying accounts are not ready. How are they going to examine? How are they going to perform the procedures? So because of these two important reasons which they have mentioned in the statement of the resignation, they have very clearly given these two reasons that is the main reason for them to withdraw from the engagement. Now, All of this we study as a part of standards on auditing. Now, when you compare it to the real applicability or the study that we have, when we talk about SA 300, we study that the auditor is required to plan the audit, design the procedures and do the performance of the procedures. All of this is done because audit has to be completed within the given time period. Now tell me, when the financial statements are not prepared, when they are not submitted on the time, how is the auditor going to plan the audit? Correct? Then, after that, risk assessment not possible because the time limit is very less. Correct? Then, you will not have enough time to obtain the evidences, so you will not be able to give a proper reasonable assurance. More importantly, we talk about SA 260, communication with those charged with governance. So here, as a part of information that we have, there has been a kind of argument, or there has not been a matching of mind between BYJU's and Deloitte regarding certain matters of accounting concepts. Like revenue recognition has been one of the areas where there has been a continuous argument, mismatch of their opinion. So obviously when these matters remain unresolved, then auditors we know have an option to even go for withdrawal. Correct? Here if the TCWG, that is those charged with governance, do not agree, are not ready to rectify or not able to resolve the matters, then obviously auditor can go in for resignation as well. Correct? So this is a classic example for you to understand how really there could be an applicability of all the things that we study as a part of the subject. Alright? Also understand it is a company. The auditors have resigned. This is amounting to casual vacancy. And here you see casual vacancy has to be filled by new set of auditors, and the same thing has been done by BYJU's. BYJU's now have appointed BDO as their new statutory auditors for a period of 5 years. That means for the financial year 2022, the audit will now be performed by BDO and Associates, and it is not going to be done by Deloitte Huskins and Sells. So this has been a term of casual vacancy caused because of resignation. And when we discuss about company audit, we talk about all this concept elaborately. So if you must have seen or noticed properly, when we discuss about those charged with governance communication, then here we see that auditors have communicated, but there has been unresolved matter, which gives the scope for the auditor to resign from it. Second, we also have spoken about planning of audit, risk assessment to be done by the audit, proper procedures to be performed by the auditor. So all of this, it is possible only when financial statements are ready, or maybe the auditor is in the position to commence the audit. Here the situation is that things are not in a position where even Deloitte can think about commencing the audit. So in that case, all of these standards, obviously they will not be able to apply effectively. More importantly, we know that whenever resignation is taken place, you have to communicate or you have to file a statement of resignation. Otherwise, there will be punishment for contravention. So here Deloitte has filed the resignation statement. In the statement of resignation, you are required to give the reasons for the resignation. Has Deloitte given the reasons? Very clearly mentioned what is the reason for resigning. Alright, then all of this amounts to casual vacancy, and because of which BYJU's have now filled up the casual vacancy by appointing the new auditors, and that is for the consecutive period of 5 years. So this was simple a way for you to understand how what we study as a part of the subject, and when such situation actually happen, how we compare and understand that what we subject has a real practical applicability. Very rarely we come across such situation where we hear about resignation of the auditors, when we hear about new auditors being appointed, reasons of the financial statement not being filed given the given period of time. So all of this, what we have got to know today, I have taken this opportunity to connect this with the subject and make you understand that yes, all of these things that we study have a long applicability. Clear? Yes.